delivering checks on the light square diagonal, as well as that kind of soft pawn, let's say, towards the center of the board. He elects to move his light squared bishop out, protecting that central pawn, but giving, as far as I can tell, Fabi the opportunity to deliver this check and attack a weak pawn on the right side of the board.
Yeah, he's sacrificing here, Tanya.
It's amazing. I mean, I'm thinking about something that's very famously said in chess. You know, Patsa sees a check, Patsa takes a chess. Patsa sees a pawn hanging, Patsa takes the pawn. I mean, I would play that move in just an instant, but you're playing against Hans Niemann. We've seen him do this through the whole freestyle tour, right? Where he comes in, he sacrifices material for piece activity, for initiative in the position. But I'm going to admit, it's not so clear for me. I mean, it has to be around the ideas of getting your knight out into the game, trying to target that queen if it did get hungry on that H line. But maybe we dive a little deeper, David, because that's got to be the move on everyone's mind right now.
Yeah, this is the acid test of what Hans Niemann has just done. This check winning a pawn. Just to very quickly point out, Hans could have dodged this. I think something you mentioned earlier, Tanya, he could have just pushed his central pawn forward, defending its fellow here in the center, but also blocking the white queen from delivering a check. He decided not to solve this problem, instead to develop his bishop, which does look like it's on a clumsy square. You rarely see bishops here kind of locked in behind their own pawns, so very interesting idea here by Hans Niemann. A check, though, to put it on the board. This would be met probably by a pawn block or a knight block, as you mentioned. Maybe this knight block, maybe the other knight block. Let's say this one. Queen takes pawn, and where is the compensation? How does black try to get the energy going? The white queen does have an escape route. It's going to run away. It's cost a couple of moves already. It's going to cost a couple more with the white queen, so maybe just to push this pawn forward. And if the queen tries to flee here, black can establish a big pawn center. We might see the Arjun effect here with 3 pawns in the middle of the board, and yes, you're a pawn up, but the pawn count probably doesn't matter so much for white.
Yeah, well, and interestingly, if we return to the live position, you'll take note that Fabi doesn't take the bait. He's not going to go for it.
I think much safer here, much more logical, and saying to Hans Niemann, okay, I'm not going to call your bluff here, but I'm also going to say that your bishop looks a bit silly on this square.
I think that's a very pragmatic, very professional approach. I mean, the position that David had on the analysis, black got everything going, white only had the queen out, right, which was being targeted and chased around the board. So that's playing with fire, something you don't want against a guy like Hans. Just look bad for white, honestly. I like this move. Not only does it open the diagonal of the bishop next to the white queen, but it also stops Hans from advancing his own pawn further up the board, offering the trade of a key fianchettoed bishop. You know, you're stopping the e-pawn moving forward, also the d-pawn stepping one step ahead, taking control of some squares that the knight could have landed on. And perhaps you can show that if we just put the d-pawn back, the move that Fabi just made. I mean, give one more move to Hans. E-pawn, d-pawn, everything coming forward, and then you're just very unhappy with no development with the white pieces. So a really nice approach by Fabi there.
Yeah, nice clamping move there for Hans Niemann. If he had been given the opportunity, he wasn't, as Fabi now stepped forward and very early.
was alone on the board, and Magnus played the best move against you.
Yeah,
So-
F3, yes.
Yeah, also Vincent said that F3 is very strong.
That's what happens when you have an intuition and you're sitting with these 8 people. You get influenced by them because some of them are like really very confident that this
Yeah,
is the
the
best
famous
way.
Paris story, no, with the Nyapo
Yeah.
gambit. Yeah, that I also
Yes.
checked with Engine. Engine said this already better and so on. And yeah, there we go. King G5 final play, look D7 on the board.
But the evaluation rose, so maybe it was King F5 after all.
I don't know.
He spent 6 minutes.
But
deciding.
usually they also say in bad position there are no good moves. No, this is the old famous
Yeah,
quote.
because I was thinking that King F5, Rook F1, King G4 maybe.
Yeah, and H3 King G5.
No, King G3.
Yeah, everything-
Bishop E1, Rook.
Everything goes along the logical lines, actually, and Fabi picks up the pawn on F7.
Yeah, maybe knight
C3.
E4 after bishop takes E1. Can I try something? King G4.
Wow.
What is this? Rook H7, G5? But Rook
I like
G7.
King G4. Very good move.
And with confidence, like, yes, I have it was difficult, but I found it, and now I'm getting out. Yeah, the body language also, look at this.
Very nice move because King on F3 is actually very safe.
Yeah, very annoying.
Here, Rook H7 is G5.
Well, Rook G7.
Rook G7 there is, yeah. Now very important for Fabi not to get under the influence of Hans, yeah. That he signaled that I played a great move, I'm getting out. No, you have to play the
I
position.
would play Bishop C3 or just dominate the knight on C6.
And not grab that pawn?
No, I would rather go for like 95 and then just play for domination rather than
Yeah,
materials.
it's also perfect sense.
But I'm not sure because G5 is kind of a threat.
Well, right now there's still H3 of G5.
Yeah, knight H5. Or knight E2.
So what I...
Fabi is a pawn grabber.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah,
Spot on.
Just to make sure, it's better
But
if
why
it's
not?
in my pocket than in
Take
you
the
have.
pawn.
Give it to me, yes.
What does black do? Knight D4? Or...
He would calculate, and if he doesn't see why not, he would
Yeah,
Then
just.
he takes.
That makes sense.
Can I just point out that Magnus is significantly worse now?
Yeah, he's pawn done, and there is some human compensation maybe, yeah, because of this A4 C4 pawn structure, but
Magnus always has human compensation.
but the computer is not impressed. Yes, maybe somewhere when some rook B1 B4 idea, who knows? It's
And also,
possible.
Aronia is getting more and more back into the game, has equalized the time situation and the position also. Oh,
Wow,
Maybe
Dark
we
square
can
bishop
jump
disappeared.
there for
What on
short
earth
time.
is this? He wants knight C4, knight B6 checkmate. That's why
Alright.
Arjun played. Yeah, we can jump in there because the reason why Arjun opted for this